Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. My mic sound nice, check one. My mic sound nice, check two. Let me know if I'm coming through. How are y'all doing today? What's up, Suburbia? What's going on? Thank you for coming through. Hey, Jay Will TV. What's going on? Happy Saturday. Okay. How y'all doing? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika Zen. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Pick up your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the Zen. So, you guys, today this ain't gonna be a long live because I just want to hop on here. I actually had something else completely different plan, and you know how that goes. Something else hit me, and I changed it up. Originally, I was gonna do something like with from Sydney 48 and oh Lord, I don't child forgot his dad one name. Harry Belafonte being it, so he just passed, like giving a shout out. Sometimes when I do these, what you should be watching. Okay, I do special editions sometimes, so I was gonna do that, but then I decided to switch that, and that'll be coming up, and I'll do that as a Black celebration. And I decided to just have kind of a part and tell you guys a little bit about some of the shows that I left off of the main list that did come out that I some that I didn't mention, and then I just kind of wanted to go over some that I mentioned from before that I actually got a chance to watch because, of course, sometimes when I do these, what you should be watching, some of the categories that you may hear me put things in, is no specific order, doesn't necessarily have to be, but you will hear me sometimes saying, things that are coming to soon come that I haven't watched yet, but the synopsis sounds good to me, so I'll tell y'all about it. There's other things that I did watch that I'm like, yo, this is good. Y'all need to get into this, right? Then I'll be having if you were under a rock and you missed it, honorable mentions and all of that kind of stuff. So in this case, some of the shows I had told you guys about, but I hadn't watched them yet, and now that I had a chance to go and watch them, I just kind of wanted to revisit them and let y'all know what I thought about the ones that I did get a chance to see. And of course, I want to know what y'all watching out here. Okay, maybe it's some stuff that y'all watching that I don't know about that y'all could tell me about, and I could tell some of my subscribers about, or people that come through and just so happen to watch it, so they can know to go ahead and get into it too. So that's basically what I wanted to do today. Normally I give at the beginning of every month or the first Saturday of the month, I give you guys all the new movies and TV shows that are coming in theaters, coming in streaming services for that month. So I had already did like March, April, May, and of course the first Saturday in June, which I think is June 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be back and I will be giving y'all all the shows and movies that's coming in June. But yeah. So that's what we're gonna get into today. I'm gonna share my screen. Hopefully, I'm not gonna have no problem with doing that. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about, some of these ones that we got coming up now. I'm trying to think of which ones I want to start with. Now, I think we'll start with the ones that I didn't talk about yet. We'll probably just like bounce back and forth. That's probably the easiest thing to do. Do it like by the order of the network. Let's try it that way. That way, hopefully, it don't be too confusing. Hopefully. So the first one, and I'm actually thinking about trying to work on, um, Wait a minute. Why is it showing what I don't have on the screen? I'm confused. I know I'm still new to this, so give me a minute. Okay, there we go. I'm still learning, guys. Still a work in progress. It's showing what it feels like showing. I know I always got some other stuff happening. Okay, so first one is Dearmama. I think I didn't mention this one at the time because I was thinking that, if I see one, what the heck is going on here, y'all? Yeah. I think I didn't mention this at the time because I kind of felt like if you saw one Tupac documentary, you seen them all, and I wasn't really in a rush to watch it. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, when I watched it, I was like, wait a minute, this thing actually is breaking it down in a whole different way than you know I've actually seen any of the other documentaries break it down. I was very interested in this. I loved watching it. And I'm actually trying to put something together for us to kind of do an overall review of this actually. So this is on my list. I thought it was very good. Definitely gave more detail and just a different outlet than a lot of the other documentaries did. Went way deeper into, the Black Panther and his mother and all of that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking in forward to hopefully being able to have like just the overall discussion about this. And it's actually coming from I believe it's on Hulu and FX. Most things that play on FX play on Hulu too. So you can see it in both places. And I was just here for this. I don't know if anybody else has got a chance to check it out, but I would say if you haven't, I definitely would recommend it. Um, I was actually surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I really, like I said, it was kind of one of those things where I felt like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. It's not really nothing that I'm in a rush to watch. So just thought I would, throw that out there. Okay, yes, Kendall, I'm definitely was feeling it. She said I just watched that and I loved it. Yes, I'm a Tupac fan too. I am. And but I felt like I've seen so many, because we got a lot. We cannot lie when it comes to him, Biggie, Whitney Houston, child. They be doing the most. Okay, they don't be wanting to let these people rest in peace. We be getting documentary after documentary after documentary after documentary, and after a while, you know, I just was kind of feeling like, is there anything left that we have not covered? But they did what they needed to do when it came to this. So I have to say, yeah, there was some things that we didn't cover. I thought they did a good job with it. Another thing that's based on the true story, and of course, shout out to Modot. He put me on to this one. He actually does reviews of this on his channel. If anybody wants to go and watch his reviews, if you're watching the show, y'all know the way he break it down, child. And nobody don't be breaking it down the way that he do. And I was not familiar with it till I heard him talking about it. And of course, that is White House Plumbers, and it was like a 5-part series that tells the true story of how Nixon, and the freaking political sabotages and the Watergate and all of that kind of stuff, right? You got Howard Hunt and G. Gordon accidentally toppled the presidency. And of course, this is what Woody Harrison, which I do love him, okay? And I forget the other guy's name right now. It's not coming to me. I'm trying to see if they got his name here. Justin Theroux. And I'm really, starting to get into this because y'all know sometimes because I'm doing reviews on shows, some other shows that I may want to see, I have to wait till when I have the free time to actually be able to just watch them, right? Because I'm always focused on the ones that I'm doing the reviews on, and then of course I got other things going on in my life too. So since it's kind of been slower, I've actually been able to just go ahead and watch other things on the side just because, and not, because I'm doing a review on it. And of course, that is actually on HBO. So let me just check before I bounce to something else because I kind of wanted to talk about each one of them with let's see. I kind of wanted to talk about each one of them as far as the network so I don't get confused and I feel like I'm still gonna end up confused either way it goes at this point, but I'm trying to keep it all together. So before I skip to anything else, um, there was another one that came from Hulu that I have been watching, and I did mention on my other list before in May. And I'm actually gonna try to do reviews on this too. This will probably be me and Moochie doing reviews on this together. She's away right now, so we gotta figure something out where we can set up what days we're gonna be discussing this show. But that is Class of '09. I don't know if anybody's watching this. I did talk about this show before, and I watched the first two episodes that they dropped, and I'm all in. I am completely here for this. Okay. Hey, what's up? Thank you for coming through. What's up, Brown Pretty? How you feeling today? So I don't know if anybody's watching Class '09. If you're not, I would definitely suggest that you get into this. This show is fire. It really is. I first of all, I'm a big fan of one of the main characters in it. That's the first thing that caught my eye. And usually anything that he's in, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm here for this, right? And of course, this is about FBI agents who graduated Chronicle in 2009 and they reunite, following a friend's death. But we kind of have like a back and forth in and out where we are in present, past and future, right? So we kind of have three different storylines going. Is a whole lot of action, child, and of course because Brian Tyree Henry was in it, that was really the first thing that caught my eye. I love him. I love most of the things that he play in. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead, you know what I'm saying, and get into this and see what we talking about here. And I'm definitely all in, and I'm just trying to figure out like a day that we will be able to do reviews on this because I definitely want to review it. And I did want to, speaking of doing reviews, I did also want to review, and this is coming from HBO as well, since I just mentioned the White House Plumbers coming from HBO. I also want to do like an overall talk on this show, Love&Death. Now, I will say for some reason, a lot of these shows now are putting out 2 and 3 episodes at a time, or either all the episodes come out. Like when we talking about a Netflix show, they have a habit, of course, of putting all theirs out. So when it shows like that, to me, it's harder to do it. I remember we wanted to originally review Swarm, but Swarm came out with so many episodes at one time, and it was so many other people that had already did it that we just was kind of like, okay, never mind. We missed it. We didn't get to talk about it. I wanted to talk about From, but I didn't know how many people would actually show up from that. So I know when Love&Death came out, I already caught my eye, wanted to do it. This is also based on a true story. But because they dropped 3 episodes at one time and I felt like we was already behind, I just was kind of like, well, what do we do? Do we not do it at all, or do we talk about it just overall? So once the last episode plays, we are going to do an overall discussion on Love&Death. That's what we decided because it's just more simpler that way than trying to catch up when there's already so many episodes of it that's already played. And that's the, downside, at least for me, with being a damn gone content creator, because there's some stuff you want to talk about that you're not too sure how many people are going to show up from. It's some that is kind of hard to talk about when there's so many episodes. I know that I also heard Modot say that that's how he feels and that's how I feel. But I do want to talk about this, so I decided that I'm gonna do it in that way, and hopefully, we'll set up something. Y'all keep y'all notifications on, and we'll be able to tell y'all when we planning on doing that. Now, another one that we actually did do that with, recently, um, is Queen Charlotte. We actually last week did an overall discussion on the whole series, me, Moochie, and just call me EJ. We did have an overall discussion on this. And I know this is not something that everybody's into, but it is really good. If you like a good love story, I think they did an excellent job on it. And it does, it is a prequel of the Bridgerton series, but you don't have to be into the Bridgerton series or ever have watched it in order for you to be able to follow it. And that was another thing that I liked about it. So if it was just something that you want to watch kind of as a standalone, you can. And of course, this is basically, the young Queen Charlotte and her marriage to the King George in England, and their love story, and also the trials and tribulations that they had to go through. First of all, the having to be a black woman, okay, and showing, of course, during that time, things that we already know that happened with black and white people, and also just the fact that they would be 3 years old, 5 years old, teenagers, whatever, and they already kind of had them where their whole lives was already planned for them, and they already knew who they had to be, married to, and basically marrying complete strangers that they didn't know from a hole in the wall, and just all those different type of things. Of course, if you want a more in-depth breakdown on that, then I would suggest you guys check out the breakdown that we did on that one. And another one that's on Netflix, and I thought this came to Netflix really, really fast. Oh, this is not even what I was talking about, y'all. But since we on Netflix, we'll just stay there. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. But if anybody was interested, I'm not. I'm gonna keep it real. Anna Nicole Smith, I seen this trending on Twitter the last 2 daggone days. Okay, you don't know me. Of course, they have a documentary about her. I don't really feel like I need to see it, but if there's anybody that's out there that wanted to see it, then I guess I ain't gonna say anything bad about it, but that's not what I was actually thinking about, to be honest. I thought that was something else. So this is what I was talking about. We are now moving to Air. And I was surprised at how fast this actually came on Prime. I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't that just in the daggone movies? How the heck is it on Prime already? And this was actually a good movie. This was a good movie. Of course, this was about the Air Jordan, sneakers or whatever the case may be, and how they first got the idea to do it, and coming to Jordan and his mother and stuff like that, trying to get permission to make it, and just that whole backstory on that. And I actually thought that overall it was decent to me, right? And it's funny because I've been hearing people say that this movie did good in the theater, but this one that also comes from Ben Affleck called Hypnotic, and I did have this on my list too as being in theaters, is apparently not doing so good. And I actually enjoyed this movie. I do have critiques about it, and then there's things that I would have liked to be different and stuff like that, but I definitely don't think it was the worst. And they were saying that J Lo's movie, The Mother on Netflix, was actually doing better than this movie, right? This was supposed to be the flop. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on right now, but I didn't mean to do that. That movie was actually supposed to be a flop, and J Lo's was supposed to be doing good. That Mother that's on Netflix, I think it's okay. The Mother, I did watch that as well, but I ain't think it was all that either. Okay, I'm like, it was good enough for it to be a Netflix film, in my opinion. So, but I also feel like that many people might not have been really thinking about this one or trying to watch this one, because if you think about it, we had Guardians of the Galaxy and a lot bigger ones in the theater. And if you have to choose between that and this, more than likely you was probably going to go to that. So I don't really think, it's such a big deal. I think it may have just been the timing that they chose to put the film in the theater, but I could be wrong. And side note, I did watch Gardens of the Galaxy as well. And I loved it. I thought it was so good. I don't know how many of y'all saw that, but I loved it. I thought it was the best of the three. And I was like, oh, Rocket. It was just, but I ain't going to get too deep into that. Well, let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. Hey, Candy Love. How you doing? Yes, Love and Death was definitely good on Kindle. Yes, Queen Charlotte is good, girl. Queen Charlotte is good. We did a review on it, and it's really good. It really, really is. It really, really is. Yes, Andy, it definitely is. I hope that they have another part. It was like one of those stories that was a part of Bridgerton, and when we was watching it in Bridgerton, we all, well, now I can't say we all, but I did hear a lot of people say that they wanted Queen Charlotte's story and like Lady Danbury's story. Those are two black women that are in there. And I definitely was one of the people that wanted that. So I was happy when they did it. I was like, oh, they must have heard us. Yeah, Mother wasn't all of that. It was actually where I was like, I could take it or leave it. You know what I mean? I was bored one night. I watched it and I was like, wait, we got Amari in here. Then I'm like, wait, is Amari about to get killed in 2 seconds of what's starting the movie? Like, what's going on here? He didn't get it, but not to spoil it for anybody if y'all didn't see it, but I was just like, okay, girl, I guess. He said, yeah, it was pretty mid. Yeah, it definitely wasn't like the best of the best of the best. Okay. I'm just gonna keep it real with that. But it was all right. Kendall said White House Plumbers was really good. I'm sorry, I'm so behind on reading y'all comments because I was trying to go ahead and um, you know, figure out what was going on with this thing because it be jumping from thing to thing to thing. But yeah, those was just some ones that I actually got to sit down and watch, and it feels so good when you could watch something like just to watch it, child. Y'all don't know because I really don't get to just watch things just to watch it. It's always where um I'm doing a review on it, so I gotta take notes and I gotta watch it over and over and all of that kind of stuff, as opposed to just being able to watch it just to watch it and enjoy it. So when I do get those times that I could do that, then I definitely try to take advantage. So another one that I wanted to bring up, this is coming on Prime, okay. And I have absolutely been loving this one. Let me see. And I did have this on my list before, but at the time that I put it on the list, that's not it, y'all. Sorry. I'm just trying to get some of these other ones out the way that I already talked about. So I have to tell y'all about the one that I really want to talk about, and that is Sistas. Okay. They did they daggone thing with this show. Okay, I'm all the way here for this. I don't know if anybody's watching this. I did have this on last month's list. Well, this month's list, I should say, because we're not out the month yet. We got a little bit more time left. But of course, this is like a global spy agency. And, without giving too much away, just in case y'all haven't seen it, most of this you would either see in the description or, in the preview if you watch the preview. But they have fallen, right? And so you have agents who their memories are wiped clean, and now the most powerful syndicate, which is called, I think, Manacor or whatever, is like, rising in the void of them being out, of the Citadel falling. And it's just like, can the Citadel agents recollect their past and be able to, go ahead and stop these Manacor people before they take over and, take over everything. This show is the bomb, y'all. It's really, really good. I love it. Suburbia says Love and Death good, although Jessica's Bill Limited series Candy tells the same. Yes, it does. And I remember when Candy came out. I feel like this one is a little bit more intense for me than the Candy one, though, because I do remember when that came out and I did watch it. It is definitely based off the same person, because when I started watching the Love and Death. I was like, wait a minute, I know this story. Like, where did I hear this story at, before? And then I'm like, oh yeah, Candy. I did also feel like Love and Death had a very slow start to it. And I would say that they could have cut some of the daggone sex scenes out because I didn't really need to see them, getting it on that many times. I just didn't. I'm like, okay, we get the point. All right. They was getting it in. But yeah, it's definitely intriguing and it's definitely very interesting to say the least. She was definitely something else, honey. Um Kendall says Citadel's on your list. Yes, definitely. Another one I would say you should put on your list. I don't have it up here, but Silo is definitely another one. Just an honorable mention. City on Fire. That is on Apple TV. I would say Apple TV be doing their thing too. All right. Not enough people be talking about them to me. Both Silo and City on Fire actually come on Apple TV. So I would say add that to your list, and when you get time, go ahead and check that out, right? So, I talked about this. I talked about this. So just, another honorable mention. This was one that I didn't have on my last list. And I would actually watch this over the Anna Nicole, just me personally, because I do love Michael J. Fox. And this was a documentary about him, still a Michael J. Fox movie. Just basically following his life and, talking about him and how he advocates and explores his own personal and professional triumph and trials that he went through and what happens when an incurable optimist confronts an incurable disease. So just me personally, no shade to none of Anna Nicole Smith or anybody else, but I would just personally definitely when I have time, check this out. And also I just want to mention and give a shout out to Prom because I meant to mention this when I just was doing my self-care Saturday, but Prom is the only network that I noticed the other day when I was watching it actually has a section that it says Prom has mental health awareness movies. And y'all know I just finished doing a self-care Saturday video, shining the light and bringing awareness with the fact that May is mental health awareness month and all the different weeks and days that we have within, inside the month that um is basically dedicated to different mental health aspects. So I thought that was really cool that they have some mental health movies up there. So and they have some pretty good selections inside of there too. I've never seen no other streaming network have that, so I had to give them a shout out for that. I thought that was actually awesome. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. um Suburbia says the mother is also yes, Amari Hardwick, and he doesn't know how to pick a role. That's why his career is not doing well. Yes, he was in there. And I was like, okay, Amari, what's gonna be going on here? And Kendall says, which one has a better representation? Uh Candy or Love and Death? I don't know. I just feel like I don't remember getting as captivated into the story with Candy as I do Love and Death, but it's also been a minute since I watched Candy, so I actually was thinking about possibly revisiting Candy once I watched this. I think Nita the Diva, if I'm not mistaken, was saying that she had never saw Candy, but she remembered it coming out, and she actually went and watched that one, I believe, after watching a couple of episodes of Love and Death. So yeah, it would be interesting, like for me to rewatch it, and then I could probably give you a better answer because I don't really remember everything right now, like in great detail. Yes, Citadel is definitely y'all. I'm telling y'all, y'all will not regret it. Thank you later. Check that out. I think it will be really good. Fatal Attraction was another one that I had on my list, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I really don't care about that. I feel like we already got that movie, and I don't know why we keep continuously having remakes. I just don't feel like everything needs to be remade. I remember saying that when we was talking about it before. I'll go with the original. I know we also got White Men Can't Jump recently. I seen that trending on Twitter. I really don't care about that either. I see half the people saying it was whack and half the people saying it was okay. Some people, of course, in the younger generation is saying they never even saw the original one. I would say give me Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes Snipes any day. And I didn't even realize it was a movie till Mozart was saying that last night. I thought it was a series. So I'm just like, I'm good, whatever. That would be one of those like if I ever just so happen to stumble on it and ain't nothing else happening, nowhere in sight, then maybe I would end up watching it, but I'm definitely not gonna go out my way to watch it. But make sure y'all hit that like button, okay? Listen to Kendall. Yeah, it's a reboot, and it's one that they could have just kept as far as I'm concerned. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. But moving on along swiftly and professionally, y'all. Okay, let me close this out. There's only a few because, like I said, I really didn't have that many. We then have Steeltownmurders. Let's see. Okay. And this is also based on a true story. So if y'all notice, I'm seem to have a lot of true stories with the theme today. But I do be liking the true stories. And I don't know how many people are into like BBC shows or movies, but they be having some good ones. I like them. And this is actually, based on murders that was happening, right? So apparently there's centers around the hunt to catch a killer of three young women set both in 1973 and in the early 2000s, right? And it's showing you the contrast between the police and methods that was in the 1970s with the forensic breakthrough and how everything changed from then to now. But it was some serial killer that apparently was just like, let me stop this from playing because y'all know they'll give me a strike in a minute, child, even though it ain't no sound or nothing. So that is Still Town Murders, and that is on BBC. And I think it started like May 15th. And I was like, okay, I like stuff again that's, based on true stories like little crime, murder mystery type of things. Um, sometimes I like those. I like all genres to be honest with you. All genres with movies, all genres with music. I'll watch just about anything if it's giving me a good story. So Kendall says yeah, the BBC movies and TV shows are on point. Yes, they are. They really are. Be some good ones. And I see America actually do over a lot of their shows. And most times it ain't as good to me, right? They do over theirs and they do over a lot of like the, Japanese ones and all those different kind of ones. And to me, it don't be as good. But, it is what it is. So we also have, let's see. I don't know why this thing keep cutting in and out. My internet might be acting up because of the rain, but we gonna lean with it, roll with it, rock with it, y'all. So we also have Missing, which this came to Netflix really fast too. This was just in the theaters not that long ago, and I remember having it on my list when it was in theaters. I didn't get to see it, so when it comes on Netflix, which I think it just came out on Netflix today, if I'm not mistaken, I will probably check it out, right? And this is when her mother goes missing, right? She was supposed to be going away on some type of trip, either London or overseas or something with her fiance, boyfriend, or whatever. And she's trying to find her mom from home, and looking for her online and trying to get help and all this other kind of stuff. And I believe that it is Nia Long. Yes, you got Ava Zari Lee, and then Nia Long is the one that is playing her mother that goes missing. So I don't know if it's anybody that is interested in this, but this is gonna be, out on Netflix. And this went from theaters to Netflix really fast, just like Air went from theaters to Prime really fast. I noticed now that the movies are not really staying in the theater as long as they used to. They getting up out of there pretty quickly. So I don't know if anybody's already saw this, then y'all can let me know whether it's any good or not. But I do remember having it on my list before. I just never got a chance to watch it. Hey, thanks for coming back. Yeah, I like a lot of stuff when it's based off of relevance too, Kendall. I definitely agree, and I like crime genres and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give it a try. Um, so let's just see. I want to kind of get rid of the ones that we already talked about. So of course, and I'm actually debating on reviewing this as well. We have Run the World. That's gonna be coming back, and that will be coming back, of course, on Starz, and it will be season 2, and it will be May 26th. Now I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all know I keep it real. Excuse me. um, Season 1 was just okay to me. Like I wasn't all like, oh my god, yes, Run the World. It was okay. It was decent. But I'm willing to give season 2 a chance. I didn't think that it was trash. And since I don't have many that I'm reviewing right now, this is one that I am considering adding to the list. I just want to see how many people will actually be interested in it, because when I first started doing reviews, I was going so hard, so crazy. Sometimes I was doing 2 and 3 shows a day, doing reviews every day, and not everybody showed up to watch some of them. Some of them had very low views, and I don't want to put a whole bunch of time into something and then don't have anybody be interested in it. But I'm definitely debating on, possibly covering this one. We shall see. If not, I'll just watch it. But this will be returning. And of course, we got 4 best friends that's living in Harlem. Okay, striving for their world domination. And trying to figure out things or whatever the case may be. And I always want to try to support, of course, black um actors and actresses and projects and all of that good stuff. So we got Eric Alexander up here. We got I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I don't do know his face. Tashin. We got Ellie Relaine. We got Jay Walker, Sasha Hutchinson, Precious Lee. So I'm gonna try to give these people support, and I'm gonna try to see, what they got going on. Amber Stevens, Brisha Webb, Corbin Reed, Andrea Brodox. Child, y'all know I'll be venturing people names up. So, but yeah, I don't know how many of y'all was watching and how y'all felt about season 1. Let me know. Oh, you said Missing was great. Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Yeah, I remember when the trailer came out. Yeah, I think it is pretty much similar to Harlem, Kendall. There are some differences, but I would say it's like in that same type of realm. So I'm definitely gonna try to get back into it. I think I actually want to rewatch it before the second season start, like rewatch the first season, and then be able to, go ahead and get into it and see if I want to review it or not. And I'm definitely gonna check out that Missing, because, like I said, I remember I had even thought about going to the movies to see it. Excuse me, y'all, for 1 minute. Sorry. This weather in New York has been so crazy. 1 minute is hot as I don't know what. Next minute is raining and cold, and I'm starting to feel myself catching a cold. But yeah, it's like ooh, I wanted to possibly go see it in the movies, but I didn't get a chance to. So now that they came on Netflix so fast, I'm like, well, perfect. I can watch it from right here in the comfort of my home. Okay. And since I've been having a little extra time, like I said, gotta take advantage while I can, because when it gets busy, then I'm not gonna have the extra time, and I'm definitely not gonna be able to watch everything as fast as I may have been able to before. So I'm gonna try to check out as much stuff, as I can while I can. But for anybody that just came in, we just basically went over some that I had already told you guys about that I did get to watch that I thought was really good. And that was Silo, Class of '09, Queen Charlotte, Love and Death, Citadel. Definitely recommend. I thought Hypnotic was good. Air was good. That's already out on Prime. We just finished talking about Missing. That officially came out on Netflix today. Dearmama, which I'm thinking about doing reviews on. Run the World, which I'm thinking about doing reviews on. We shall see. Whitehouseplumbers, which Modot has been doing reviews on. And then I said Dearmama, and Steeltownmurders, which is actually on the BBC. That's based off a true story. So you got Whitehouseplumbers based on a true story. Steeltownmurders based on a true story. Dearmama, of course, the Tupac documentary, and then Love&Death is based on a true story too. So we had a good amount of, true stories and documentaries and things like that that was mixed in there as well. Um, let's see. She said, who got sorry, y'all. I got like a bad cramp in my side right now. I'm hoping that it's just gonna leave on its own, but it's killing me. She said, do you put a poll out of what we want to see um a review on? Okay, like the throwback movies. Yeah, I actually been thinking about doing those, and seeing what the feedback is and what people say. Because honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Some people give me requests for movies and shows, and some of them I do. Some of them I tell y'all you might have to wait a while before you get it. But the thing about it is, even when I get requests and I do them, sometimes they still don't get that many views. So it could be y'all, one of them y'all that do the poll and put that y'all want to see it, but then not that many people still actually show up physically to watch it, even though people have requested it or said they want to see it. So it's kind of like, sometimes that works and sometimes it don't. But going forward, I probably will do something like that, because not only do I have the throwback movies, which I do once a month, but sometimes I have celebration movies, just kind of shining a light on black, icons, black historical figures, black documentaries, all of that different kind of stuff. It was something I was doing for Black History Month, but at the end of the day, I want to do it for more than just Black History Month, because Black History is every single day, all day, 365 days, 7 days, a week, and all of that. Is not just a month that's picked out. So that's something I want to continue. And then I actually also want to do something that's like a mafia gangster type position. So I have so many ideas that's in my head. There's so much other stuff that I've been wanting to do from when I first started the channel that I haven't even got to yet. But it's just a matter of one, finding the time, setting a schedule, sticking to the schedule, having people that's definitely on board for it, or knowing that I'm gonna be doing it on my own and that people are actually gonna watch. If y'all give me the same support that you do for some of the other things that I do with, some of the other ideas that I have, then it's all good, and I definitely don't mind doing it. Because sometimes I'm where I don't have no day to myself. Sometimes I have one day. And now this time of the year is kind of what we call the drought, where we get a little bit of kind of downtown, where we can figure out what's the things we want to do, and we can have a little time for ourselves. So, but sometimes we got show after show after show after show. Like I do every different kind of show. I don't just stick to one show. So, and of course, y'all know like the throwback movies is every fourth Sunday of the month. And now I'm going to be doing the trivia every other Saturday. So that's why I wanted to do the self care and what you should be watching today. Next Saturday would be the trivia, because I felt like when I was doing all three on the same day, it was a bit much for me. So I'm trying it this way. So the 27th will be the trivia. And then the 3rd, y'all would get the next self care Saturday. And y'all would get the what you should be watching that would have the June movies, and that would be June 3rd, just to let y'all know a little bit about, the schedule and where we're going to be going forward. And if anything changes, of course, I'll put that in the community tab. But I'm going to try it that way, and I'm going to definitely put a poll up and see how many people actually say they interested. Oh, you said you still watching the last latest season of Barry. Okay, you can't wait for. Yes, yes, yes. I want to see that too. The Idol. I'm actually, excuse me. That's another one I'm interested in, and I am watching the last season of Barry. I finished you. I'm watching the last season of Succession. It seems like so many of the good shows are saying goodbye. Like this last year or 2 years was definitely the years of saying goodbye. And although on one hand, I'm happy that these shows are able to just be like, this is where we want to stop it, as opposed to them getting canceled. But on the other hand, it does make me a little sad too. Like we had the ending of Insecure, we had the ending of Atlanta, we had the ending of, Snowfall. Now we getting the ending of Barry, the ending of Succession. I'm probably missing something, but it's quite a few of them that are leaving us that, with some of my favorite shows. Um, you said you still waiting on Cooley High. Cooley High is next Sunday. We did the pool. Cooley High, if I'm not mistaken, scored the highest. So that's going to be the first one. When we do the poll, we usually try to choose like 4 or 5 at a time, and whichever way they land in the poll is the way that we're going to do it. So Cooley High is going to be number 1. If I'm not mistaken, Mahogany came in number 2. Um, I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head, but I would have to go and look at it. I think that Saturday night. Wait, matter of fact, let me look at it so I can tell you the right thing. Cause was it Saturday night or something like that? Number 3, and then I think the last one was Coffee. Coffee would be like number 4. So we know for sure that those 4 movies is gonna be the next movies we gonna be doing, and then from there we'll put up another poll with another 4, and whichever ones y'all choose from that 4. Because trust me, we got more than enough movies. I got like 50 movies that's wrote down for the old school classics, favorites, throwbacks. Then I got another 50 that's mafia movies. Then I got another 50 that's the black classic movies. So trust me, we don't have no shortage on the movies. It's just that we can only do but so much, you know what I'm saying, at a time. Right now we only been doing them once a month. So if now that it's slow, maybe we could do it twice a month. That's something that I would have to speak with Moochie about. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Cooley High is number 1. Mahogany is number 2, which way is up is number 3, and Coffee is number 4. So that would be the next 4 that y'all would be getting. But definitely gonna be doing that. Yes, Your Honor was another one, Kendall, and I thought that show was really good. I know some people didn't like, the last season as much. Everybody artist subjected. Everybody don't like the same thing, but I do, and I wouldn't mind if they had a spinoff with it. But you know, sometimes that's it. Yeah, I like doing the throwbacks. I like revisiting. I actually wanted to revisit The Sopranos too. There's a couple things I want to be revisit. So, you know, it's just a matter of the time, is the matter of the scheduling and all that different kind of stuff, and seeing if we could pull it together. Because sometimes the free time that I may have, Moochie may not have, or somebody else may not have, and vice versa. So, but we'll figure it out. Some things it may take a little longer than, others. But this is the last one, you guys. I know a lot of people is not into the Tyler Perry shows, but some are. I have to admit, outside of Power and 50 in his universe, Tyler Perry actually is where I get most of my views. And sometimes I don't even want to be bothered with his daggone shows no more. Okay, I ain't gonna tell no lie. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it real. I'll be cursing him out. But this was actually one of the shows from him that I did like from the beginning. I do reviews on Sistas, I do reviews on Zatima, and I do reviews on the Oval. The only one I don't really do reviews on, well, it's not only one, but one of the ones I don't review at all is the no, I'm sorry, I'm about to say the wrong name. The Ruthless ones. I don't mess with those. That's a little bit out of my league. I know Just Call Me. EJ does those, and I do watch all the Queen's Men, but I fell off with it. I haven't been keeping up with it. I need to probably, catch up on it. But of course, the team is a spinoff that came from this. And of course, with this, we are just focusing on a group of single black females, is, kind of fits in that same realm, like Run the World, and, the other one that Kendall was just talking about, Harlem, right? And their bond and them being single and them trying to figure out their lives. And it started out in a really good place, but child, yeah, if you ever watch some of Tyler Perry stuff, I'm just saying no shade, but he can start out in one place and he can start taking another place and he can start making you not care so much for the characters. And that's where, I'm kind of at with it now. But I know it's crazy because I just recently was hearing that he got a bunch of new characters that's being added to this show, and I also was hearing that he just hired a bunch of writers. And I was happy to hear that because we know before he didn't want to give anybody else the chance to write. He literally was taking the position of everything. But now that we got the writer's strike going on, how does that affect that? That's the question. So, I don't know how soon or how fast that would be happening, but this actually was a very good show. And I still have hope that, hopefully it will continue to be. Oval is completely bonkers. I just watch that for entertainment. I don't take it serious at all. But I would say that, when I was doing reviews on both of these, especially this last season, I personally was enjoying the Oval more than Sisters. And usually I would have never said that before. So I'm hoping that when they come back with this season, it's gonna be better. Kendall says I never watched Sisters, but the Oval I used to watch until I got distracted. I'm gonna go. Yeah, that last season of the Oval was off the hook. I ain't even gonna lie. So for me, I'm very curious to see the direction they're gonna go in. Even though sometimes I get frustrated and I don't want to necessarily do it anymore, gonna continue to do it because once I start something, I like to finish it. That's just how I am. And there are, a lot of my subscribers that do like it and do give me great support with it. So at the end of the day, I still want to keep it going for them. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about that. So I'm gonna give it a chance. This, of course, will be, I think, like season 6, and then we'll be back May 31st. So, what can you do? I'm gonna give the people what they want. But do anybody else have anything that they watching that they want to tell me about? If you come on the replay game, let us know what you watching. Maybe I could talk about it when I come back to do the June movies, or talk about it sometime in the future. I definitely will make sure to write it down and let the people know. Of course, if you come back on the replay game, let us know you came by. Okay, give us a wave, tell us hi, and tell us what y'all watching. You said you 100% agree with the TP stuff. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you. Yeah, I do get a good amount of people. My first 2 videos that I ever got more than 1,000 views on was actually from Sisters in the Oval. So, I can't just diss it. So LSW says now she used to watch the okay, yeah. I will say that last season I was like, whoa, baby, okay. And I used to get a good laugh out of it. Like I said, I don't look at it more than just entertainment. And it was enjoyable for me. So I wasn't mad at it, even though they be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But actually, you guys, I mean, I stayed up here longer than I was expecting to. Shoot, this is almost an hour. I thought maybe I would be up here like a half an hour. So, that worked out. But if you guys, like I said, have any other, ones y'all want to tell me about that I could check out. Oh man, the Have and the Have Nots was my show, child. But I was so pissed off with how that show has, ended. I would say that that was one of the best shows that he did in terms of, the TV series that he had. But the way that that show ended, I still got some family members and friends that watch that show that be saying, well, now that you got your YouTube channel, why don't you go up there and have protests and stuff and tell them to bring it back? And I'm like, they ain't bringing that back. It's going okay. And he made sure to end it the craziest way possible to make sure that it couldn't never come back. And that pissed me off. That was such a good show. Ugh. Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, y'all, and that's another thing we got to keep an eye on. How is this writer strike gonna affect a lot of the other shows that was supposed to, come? I don't know how many of y'all remember the 2007 writer strike, but I do, and that affected a lot. That got a lot of the series was cut down. TV changed so much, some people never even got to have their season finales. They didn't get to come back. It messed up girlfriends. It messed up a lot of things. And I hope it don't get to that point again. Because it was crazy. Yes, I couldn't stand that daggone ending. It was so horrible. Yeah. And they used to have Tyler Leafy in there acting like a daggone fool child, like he didn't have the sense God gave a roach. Oh God, but he was looking good. Oh man, y'all. But I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. I appreciate y'all, hopping in here with me. I just had like a little free time and I figured why not? Okay. Especially since I'm not doing as much. But I think I'm gonna hop off of here, get me something to eat, and check out Missing on Netflix if it's up there already. I'm gonna show no check it out. Yes, Benny Young, baby. Benny Young. He was a hot daggone mess. And of course, if anybody, comes in the replay, definitely let us know, what y'all watching, what y'all like, what y'all didn't like. If y'all watched anything that was off of my list, I know some people do come back and let me know and give me an update and let me know what was good and what wasn't good. I really do appreciate that. And if you come across anything that you watch that's good, like I said, definitely tell me, even if I don't do a video on it, because I might not necessarily always do a video. Sometimes it could be a live. I'm going to try to practice premieres, okay, because I don't really be doing those. Practice makes perfect. It could be an uploaded video, or I may just even put it in my community tab, especially if I know it's not that many, and just be like, hey, y'all, when y'all get a chance, these are some other movies or TV shows that y'all should be watching. So I will always tell y'all, like one way or another, because I'm pretty much always that family member or friend that's always telling my family and friends different movies and shows. And usually when I tell them I've been that one that has been doing that for years, they usually be like, yo, you was on point. That was good, you know? So I just be trying to share it with y'all too, because y'all my little YouTube family. So yeah, y'all. But that's what I got. Thank you, Kendall. I appreciate you so much. Always coming through, always showing support. You are the best. Bree Little says, thanks. Yes, mental health. Yes, much love. Absolutely. Thank you, Suburbia. Thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate your support and tune in next Sunday because we're gonna be doing your coolie high. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna kick it with y'all later. See you.